What's up, guys and gals? Your host with the most, Griever, as always, bringing you guys One Piece! One Piece Chapter 1020 review. Let's get underway with this one because a lot of people are going to fangirl and fanboy and simp all over this chapter. They're going to simp all over this chapter, and as I really like Robin, but I don't simp for Robin like a lot of the community does, I thought the chapter was still pretty good. I thought the chapter was pretty good, and there were some great moments. But jumping right in, of course, we finally get the reveal of, I say finally, we've only met Yamato this arc, but we do get Yamato's devil fruit. We knew it was a mythical zone. Everybody knew it was a mythical zone, and a lot of people were saying it was this dog face thing, this Kyuubi thingy or something like that. Not the Kyuubi, but something like that. People were talking about it and blah, 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 and people were theorizing. I saw a lot of the same theories about this thing. And in the end, when I saw it, I looked at it and I thought, that looks like a fox or a dog or something like that. So, revealed that I was at least correct partially on that. It is the rare mythical wolf. It's the Inu Inu or the Dog no Mi model Makami or Makami. I believe it's pronounced Makami. Anyways, so it's the Makami. I didn't really look much up on what the Makami is. Probably wolf of legend, and the way they're talking about it is sort of a guardian deity. So I'm assuming that it's some form of mythical wolf from Japanese lore. You know, it's probably a wolf guardian or something like that. Either way, because the way they're talking about this. But Kaido, right off the bat at the beginning of this chapter, we just name drop it. It's a mythical zone. And he spent a long time looking for it, and it's the rare. So she's a wolf. That's awesome. If she wasn't going to be the white tiger, then her being the wolf, I'm good with that. I'm really good with that. I'm glad that she's something. I'm glad that she's a mythical wolf type. That's really, really cool. So Yamato is revealed to have the mythical wolf fruit, and I'm like, that's pretty badass. I can't wait to see, this is her hybrid form. Can't wait to see the full wolf form, right? So anyways, Kaido and Yamato are still clashing, of course. They're still fighting. We see this attack called Glacier Fang, and it seems to be, looks like, not really fire, but more like ever see Pokemon anime, when they attack, with ice powers and stuff like that, like Ice Beam? It almost reminds me of, it looks like a torrential amount of maybe cold fire or snow almost, you know what I mean? It looks like a blast of blizzard, a blast of snow, or ice or something like that. I mean, it's even called Glacier Fang, so we'll probably get a better depiction when the anime comes around to this. Then we'll see what the attack looks like. I think it looks really cool because, of course, Kaido has his Boro breath, which is a flame breath. This is like an ice breath or a snow breath or a frost breath or whatever. So I think it looks pretty cool. So they're of course trading quips sort of idea, like Kaido just being like, it's the guardian spirit of Wano, the mythical dog fruit, which losing it to someone claiming to be Odin, that's especially painful for me. And I'll tell you what, you should uphold the role of being a guardian spirit for Wano. But for me, sort of idea. B, it's guardian deity. Of course, Yamato argues this. It's not the same thing. Kaido says that Orochi had one thing right. He made the country a weapons factory. You rule over it and keep it running for me and stuff. And, of course, Yamato is saying, no, I'm going to liberate them. I'm going to open Wano's borders. I'm going to free everyone onto the world. And I believe it's Kaido who is remembering. I'm not sure, or maybe they both are, where Odin said, open Wano's borders. And we get the blast breath, we get the Boro breath, and we get this Glacier Fang attack. And of course, they're mixing, fire and ice sort of idea, yin and yang, boom, and it's sort of forming almost a yin and yang sort of look there. And I think that looks really cool. So, but Kaido, of course, Yamato seems to still be struggling, of course, because it is Kaido. Kaido's still the best. So he's still 1v1. Kaido wins is sort of the epithet, right? So either way, that's really cool. But then we jump into the thing that everybody's gonna love. Now this needs to be talked about. This is freaking sad. Now, a lot of reviewers are going to talk more in depth about this. But by now, you all know Robin's backstory, right? We all know she's got one of the most tragic backstories in the series. That's easy to say. And here, there seems to be an illusion type of mist we see Olivier, we see Clover, and we see Jaguar D. Saul. And they're there being like, I've been dying to see you again, Robin. Oh, like, we've missed you so much. So we have missed you, Robin, and stuff like that. And we see Robin, Brook is saying, like, could you, like, please, like, snap out of it, Robin, snap out of it. And she's just like, oh, I've missed you all so much. And we see tears in her eyes, and she's just like, you know, oh, man. And she walks closer and closer, and that's why she closes her eyes and says, I know it's such a shame, but, you know, you're not real, pretty much. And boom, 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 uses, of course, Tres Mano Freja, and just smacks all three of them. Apparently, they were one of the numbers and a couple of the snake fruit eaters, apparently. The white snake smile fruit and a different type of hognose snake smile fruit. So a couple of snake fruit smile users, and one of the numbers is down. And one of the numbers. So I don't believe we've seen all the numbers yet. I think we're still missing like 1 and 2. Maybe another number or something like that. I don't think we've seen them all. Now, maybe 1 and 2 aren't anything to write home about, but I would assume somebody given the epithet of number 1 of the 10 numbers, sort of just like in Crocodile's organization sort of idea, that we would get something like that, right? So this part, though, is really sad. The illusion mist apparently did not work on them, and they're trying to figure out why. Brook and Robin are still running away and saying, like, you know, you could have reassured me that it was working, or it wasn't working on you. Like, that's a horrible thing to do, to mess with someone's memories. Now, apparently, this illusion must take place. It's Black Maria. She's the one who's creating the illusions. But how does she know? How does she know, like, the memories or whatever? So I'm assuming that this illusion mist, however it works, she must be able to tap in. She must be able to see the most important people or something like that. Like, it's realistically, I don't know how this illusion's working where Black Maria would not know about Jaguar D. Saul. Like, you know what I mean? Or realistically, like, how would she? Like, you could argue that she would know about Clover maybe and stuff. But clearly, Black Maria must go into her memories or something, and then, like, but does she take time, like, sift through, okay, what's the most important people? Like this illusion power is really getting to me. I have no idea how that works and how it works so fast, because, yeah, you could create, or does it just randomly make the illusion? Is the ability of the illusion to make them believe that their favorite people are there, or their lost loved ones? Because it didn't show up like Sanji and then Luffy and stuff weren't there, or anybody like that. No, it was people that were dead. It was only dead people that appeared to Robin. We can assume the same thing for Brook. Now, that being said, so I just, like, it's a very sad moment, and I like the chapter, guys, but I want to know, how does this illusion mist thing work? Because it seems really OP, because it seems that it's not memory manipulation, but it seems like Black Maria is somehow able to look into somebody's memories in real time, see them as fast as humanly possible, then be able to create a perfect replica to trick people into seeing their illusion selves. With their laughter style, as we saw with Saul and everything. Like, that seems way too, like, complicated, way too OP. So I'm believing that I think that the illusion is just, like, the illusion of tragic love or something like that. Like, it's got to have a name or something. This mist ability must simply... And where's it coming from? Like, does the ancient spiders cause illusions with their webs or something? Like, I have no idea. Like, the whole... Like, the idea is cool, but, like, how does it work? I have no idea. Like, seriously. I don't have a good explanation for why this works and how it works so well. And apparently Brook saw different people than Robin. And Robin saw what we can sort of infer from that that's what Brook managed to see. So, yeah, I just have no idea how this is really working exactly. So maybe somebody in the comment section down below can explain how this illusion power works, because it seems, if it's Black Maria consciously doing it, it seems like a multitude of abilities and steps to make this happen, or if it's just the black mist illusion of tragic loved ones lost is literally the ability. That even seems really specific. So, I don't know. It's just, it's a little maybe I'm overcomplicating it, but it seems, the ability seems really overcomplicated in my opinion. But anyways, so Black Maria continues to chase them, and they say that the illusions did not work on them. So they're still chasing. Robin said that you didn't have any problem with it either. And what Robin says is it's a horrible thing to do, to toy with somebody's precious memories. So this implies to me that Black Maria consciously chose the most important people, so she did. But like, is she sitting back and watching a film in her eye? Like, does she automatically? She looks at someone and boom, she's got literally all their memories. Because if that were the case, Black Maria, I would believe, would be more sympathetic to people. Like, I don't know. Or is it coming from the staff? Is it the staff's ability? But if that's the case, I don't know. It just seems very, very strange to me. But either way, Robin then goes on to say, you didn't have any problem with it either. And of course, that is very sad because these are the people. Robin has had such a horrible life up until meeting the Straw Hats, pretty much. She's had a terrible time for the most part. So since she was a little girl, she's been hunted. She's lost all the people she cared about, watched them die before her eyes, her home country burned to the ground, all this stuff. And then for them to like toy with that or make fun of that, sort of idea, or try to trick her with those memories. Yeah, so that's very heartfelt for a lot of people and a lot of Robin fans, of course. But then talks to Brook and says, like, you didn't have any problem with it either. Now, I believe that Brook has the number one saddest backstory in One Piece. One of the saddest backstories in running manga. Easily. Brook is definitely one of the most tragic characters. And this is even more sort of fucked up. This is sad, but it's really sort of actually fucked up, is that he said, well, after 50 years of practice, wishing every day that the death of your friends was only a dream, one does not get used to being hurt by illusion. So basically, Brook is basically saying, for 50 years, I basically almost went insane. Maybe he is a little crazy. But he sort of admits it here. He's like, I've had a lot of practice with that. Dreaming, illusions, mirages. I've imagined my friends for 50 years being back, being alive and stuff. Of course, illusions wouldn't work on me because after 50 years, like, no illusion would ever be able to hold me. They're dead and gone and they are not coming back. Like, it's freaking like, Robin's is more recent, but Brook suffered for 50 years, tricking himself, like, or wanting to believe in the illusions and stuff. And having to accept that no matter what, and suffering all alone for half a century, this guy suffered, torturing himself with the idea, with illusions, with dreams, with mirages, whatever. And at this point, you think a little trick from a devil fruit or whatever the hell, as I said, I don't know how the hell this illusion stuff works, but you think some devil fruit ability or whatever is going to trick Brook? Really? Like, Robin's might be fucked up or sad. Brook's is just like, oh, that's tragedy mixed with insanity, like he actually had to accept the fact. So he probably went crazy for the first couple decades, wanting to believe that his friends were back, and maybe he was like, ho 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 ho, and he was talking to them and stuff. He probably went a little nuts. And then eventually over time, maybe sort of overcame that somehow. I don't know, but that, out of the whole chapter, that little line of Brook is really fucked up. Really fucked up. But instead, they sort of like, they bond over it. Like, Robin's like, oh, I suppose we have a lot more in common than I believed. And it says, yo ho ho, all those trials were for this very day. And so Robin's smiling about this, that, oh, yeah, we both have terribly fucked up problems. Yeah, at least we're together, fist bump, man, like, oh, and Brook's like, oh, well, at least all that suffering wasn't in vain. At least this illusion didn't work on me. It's like, he's making, like, almost light of it. Like, he's already gone through the 5 stages of grief for over 50 years. He's into the acceptance. He's past acceptance. He's good. Brook's good, so either way, that's the main thing to talk about in this chapter, I believe. That's the big thing. The dog fruit and this moment, because this moment is, yeah. It's bringing all some of the most tragic backstories in One Piece back to the surface and bringing it back to us, and we're just like, whoa, okay, maybe my heart wasn't ready for that yet, Oda, but okay. So the knife is still in there. It's still twisting, So either way, we see that the staff is emitting part of the gas or whatever like that. And so basically what happens is that Brook ends up using Cold Soul and just basically goes under his body doing his soul technique, runs right through and chills the staff, that's using the flames and all that stuff. And Black Maria is trying to apparently burn the place to the ground. She's on the ceiling, and she's, of course, making the floor all on fire. Robin uses her ability to, of course, make multiple hands and stuff and extend like a spider. It sort of looks like Spider-Man with his webbing, and just like up there and holding on to Brook, like, you're going to burn the whole place down. And she's like, oh, are you so worried about us? Thanks, but it doesn't matter. Master Kaido wins and all this stuff, right? So after that point, they stop the staff and everything like that. This is where Brook decides he's going to take on all the lackeys, the numbers. There appears to be one of the numbers still there. I don't know about any of the others, but like the other Smile users and Black Maria's entourage there, pretty much. He's going to take all of them on and basically let Black Maria and Robin duke it out 1v1. So a lot of people are going to be excited to see Robin have a 1v1 fight, because we haven't seen that for years. Literal years. She hasn't had an actual fight post-time skip, I believe, 1v1. So it's been a long time. It's been a very long time. And Black Maria taunts her about Sanji, saying, you've been sold out by your friends, Nico Robin. Blackleg Sanji knew I was hunting for you, and he helped you lure yourself into my trap. You're just baggage to your crew. You're just a knife hanging, you're a guillotine hanging over their heads all the time. The targets of figures bigger and more powerful than you and your pathetic little band. And then Robin remembers Sanji yelling, help me, Robin. Now, once again, though they're spinning this, though Oda did a good job spinning this, and Robin confirms it once again in this chapter, that Sanji relying on Robin for help is a good moment. But the fact that Sanji is literally going to allow, like what if that wasn't an option? Like, I'm still pissed about that. At some point, you're going to have to compromise your chivalry. Like, I'm sorry, at the end of the day, that might have been ingrained to you by Zeph and all that stuff, but that, like, it'll be one of those things where it's like, yeah, striking a woman is unforgivable, but, sacrificing your friends over your code, that's even, like, one of those, like, classic lines from manga people, and it's like, these people are scum, but the people who let their friends die or whatever for their code, they're even worse than scum. So which would you rather be, sort of idea? I don't think that Zeph would think poorly on Sanji if a situation like that came up, and I would argue that Sanji should have fought back. I'm just saying. I think he should have. But yeah, so I'm still pissed about that. They're spinning it in a nice way, but at some point, Sanji, as Zoro says, we're not playing a game here. I remember that about the big moment. One of the big moments with Zoro is like, we're not just playing a game at being pirates. This is serious business. You say you want to take on the world. Well, guess what? Like, this is real. This is life and death. Stop being a pussy. This is how it is. So I do like, and I think that in this situation, Sanji should have been in that sort of idea. They're spinning it in a nice way here, but I still think that at the end of the day, Sanji's code is eventually going to get somebody killed. And he's going to have no one to blame but himself. So, anyways, Black Maria continues to taunt, and she's still looking. I'm not a fan of spiders, guys, but from the waist up, she's I can go with that. But she basically says, like, Blackleg Sanji, second highest bounty, which is technically untrue, but anyways, but Blackleg is the laughing stock of all of Onigashima. To your tiny little crew, the level of your crew is pathetic. He had to cry to you for help. He sold you out. He's the second highest bounty on your crew, which we all know that Zoro hasn't gotten an increase because he was in Wano, and the only reason Sanji got an increase because he was at Whole Cake. After this, of course, Zoro is definitely going to have a higher bounty, but not even that. Jinbei's bounty was higher before when he was a warlord, when it was frozen. So technically, Jinbei is the second highest bounty on the crew. So it's not even Sanji. But anyways, maybe Black Maria doesn't know that. But either way, so that's kind of funny. So either way, like, Brook is like, oh, Sanji, I nearly spit a seam laughing. Yo ho 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 ho. But Brook basically says, as I already said, like, I'm going to leave. I'll take care of them. You can take care of Black Maria by yourself. Black Maria just basically, still taunting, and Robin just says, you know what? I'm not even going to bother acknowledging anything you're saying, because you don't know what it means to me that Sanji relied upon me for help. Like, he's a really great man and stuff like that. And says he's truly being worthy of being the wings of the Pirate King. Now, some people are saying, I saw a lot of comments on this, some people are saying like Zoro and Sanji being the monster trio, they are like the left and right wing, like the right and left hand of the future king of the pirates, being Luffy, of course. Though I think that actually, like, some people are saying, well, yeah, because it depends on the translation, and it's like being one of the wings or being one of the men as the wings of the Pirate King and stuff. There are different translations. In the vids here, it does say he's being truly worthy of being the wings of the Pirate King. So, if he's the wings, I'm okay with Sanji being the wings, because literally he does the moonwalk sort of idea. He does the step thing. Not the moonwalk, whatever. Skywalk. He's not Michael Jackson or anything, but he's got that stuff, so he can sort of fly, I guess you could look at it that way. The epithet wings of the Pirate King is a pretty cool epithet. I really like that, and I think that's really, really cool. I also think that if that's the case, if Sanji would be the wings, Zoro would be once again the right hand of the Pirate King, which is a place that Rayleigh once was. So that's a worthy title nonetheless, and maybe there is no, because usually you don't say my left hand man, it's always my right hand man. My right hand man, that's always the number 2. That's usually what's said. So I think that the epithet is worthy of Sanji, and it's good for Sanji and stuff. Once again, I did do some hate on Sanji just a few minutes ago, but that's only because I think that he shouldn't be playing this game anymore. Mandalorian style, you eventually have to take off the helmet to save what's important. It's what's more important, your code or the people you love. You got to make a choice, and if you don't choose the latter, you're a dick. Right? So either way, but of course he got out of this situation by Robin and stuff like that. But either way, we get a new technique, Gigantu Fleur, and it seems we're going to get a giant Robin. A giant Robin with multiple hands is going to attack. It looks like some crazy multi-armed Buddha or deity god behind Robin, growing this crazy giant version of herself. So this should be extremely interesting. I hope we're going to get to see this fight. I don't know if we're going to jump back to this fight at the beginning of the next chapter, but either way, this is pretty cool. And then at the very end of the chapter, we finally see Caribou. Caribou's back, and maybe he's got a big store of meat for it doesn't seem like he's going to come out, but it seems like he's still going to hide there on Wano there behind the tree. But he's looking on, so we finally know where this guy's been the whole time. But and of course, this is a desolate wasteland of Wano here. So Luffy's awake. He needs more meat, but he ate all the food in the sub, and they're not going to find any more meat. So Luffy's he's wheezing and breathing and stuff, and he's not even at 50%, I would argue. He's not even half as ready to fight Kaido quite yet. He needs more meat, he needs milk, he needs meat, he needs food, right? So either way, Luffy is conscious. They're on the beach. They met up with Momonosuke and Shinobu and stuff. And of course, Momonosuke continues to cry. Luffy basically says, hold it there. You're the leader. Don't start crying before we're done. I'm not done. None of this is finished until I smack down Kaido, until I finish this fight. And I'm not going to lose a second, third, fourth, fifth, however many times he lost to Kaido by now. I'm not going to lose this time. So Shinobu, of course, saying, don't be so harsh to Momonosuke. But of course, this is actually a good relationship that Luffy and Momonosuke have had together. And he's like, you don't cry. If you're going to lead these men, Kanemaru and Kiku, no. Time for crying is after we win. After we win, you can cry all you like. You're not crying right now. We're in the middle of this. I'm not losing the next round. So in the end, he basically says that they're still trying to find meat, and the heart pirates are going to go looking for meat and stuff. But everything around here, wouldn't it be poisoned and stuff still? So I don't know what's going to happen. But I think Caribou is going to have to oh yeah, I had a whole elephant in my cellar, because he's got tons of stuff. I don't know. Can organic matter live in Caribou for a long length of time? Would it spoil? I don't know. Either way, so they're pointing up at Onigashima, and Luffy says, Momo, you're going to turn into a dragon and you're going to fly me up there. I'm like, and Momonosuke's like, huh? But actually this makes sense that Momonosuke would be, you know, you could argue that maybe Marco would help, but Marco doesn't know where Luffy is right now, and he's still fighting King. Because there's the whole thing about Marco being like Marco's got to be there. You need the Luffy as the monkey and blah blah blah, and everyone's going off this stuff. But Momonosuke is now going to have to get over, and he's going to be there on the rooftop. He's going to be on the rooftop to witness the downfall of Kaido, which is where Momonosuke sort of belongs. He deserves, for his character, he should be there witnessing the downfall of Kaido officially, the Luffy winning against Kaido. So this makes total sense. I don't think they're going to find another way to do it. I think Luffy's going to talk Momo into saying, hey, you're going to turn into a dragon, and time to fly. You're going to learn how to fly properly. Like, let's freaking go. Let's fly. And you're going to take me all the way back up there, and you're going to watch me beat Kaido. So I think that's really badass, really cool. Of course, no break next week, so that's really awesome. It is delayed by a couple of days, apparently, or whatever, because I think Olympics or something's going on. I'm not sure. But either way, next chapter is still next week. I don't know where we're going to go from here. I'm hoping that by the end of chapter, probably in the next 2 chapters, I'd like to see Luffy back on the roof. I want to see Luffy back on the roof in the next couple chapters. Wano has been going on a very long time, but we've maybe not finished off the Topiropo fights. You could argue maybe Who's Who will get back up. Maybe he's not dead. Maybe at the end we'll see him crawl away or something. But I think that Sasaki and Who's Who are down. Page 1 and Ulti are down. Maybe Page 1 will be the only one who gets back up. X-Drake defected, and now it's just Black Maria. So maybe next chapter we finish the fight with Black Maria. The Topiropo are all completely down. Then we deal with the Calamities. And then it's on to then we'll jump over to Marco and Sanji. And who's Zoro gonna fight? Like, because Marco losing to King, I mean, he was having to fight them both simultaneously, but I don't really see Marco losing to King. I see Sanji maybe needing help to beat Queen. But Inarashi versus Jack, I don't really know. But I don't really see, a lot of people are saying, oh, Zoro's gonna get better and he's gonna fight King. I still think he's going back to the roof. That's what I think. I think he's going to, well, potentially, he helps Marco cut down King 2-on-1, rides on him and friggin' slash and boom, and then they defeat King, and then Marco and Zoro says, hey, I've only got like 35 minutes left. Take me back up to that roof. I've got to cut Kaido down as much as I can before this drug wears off. And maybe Marco says no, maybe he says yes, who knows. But maybe something like that. So, because there's nobody else for Zoro to fight. If the Calamities are going to be defeated by Sanji, Marco, and Inarashi, the only one left for Zoro to fight, and Kid and Law, of course, are fighting Big Bomb, it's Kaido. And Zoro's the samurai. Zoro's the samurai. He's supposed to be up there fighting Kaido anyways, and he already was. So I think that Zoro's got to jump back up there too. So, but either way, what are your guys' predictions for the next few chapters? Like, comment, subscribe. As always, it's always very much appreciated. Don't forget to drink responsibly, as always, as I always do. And we will see you guys back here next time, next week, for chapter 1021 for the next piece of One Piece. Thanks, guys, so much for watching. See you back here next time.